Yo, what's up? What's up, everybody? What's going on? Well, it's finally time, y'all. It is finally time. We're doing Crunchyroll Anime Awards together. All right, so first up, Anime of the Year. You guys can see all the choices here. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, right? I think Anime of the Year is probably one of the toughest categories of all time, just because everybody has their own criteria of what they consider to be like an anime of the year. Some people focus on animation, some people focus on the fights, some people focus on the storytelling. There's some great story. When I'm looking at storytelling wise, all of these have some great storytelling. I'm more of a manga reader for Dandadan. I think what it talks about is amazing, and how it's able to blend multiple different genres together. I still stand on saying that Dandadan is a romance, it's a comedy, it's a thriller, it's an adventure. It's really like a great all-in-one. But I don't know if I would say it's anime of the year, because my favorite parts of Dandadan didn't even happen yet. Gachiakata changed the entire game with its unique power system, and I love diversity in the characters. Right now, Gachiakata is fire, but it's early. It's very early for me, so I need to see more, but I loved it. Most people are going to say My Hero, and My Hero's final season was done very, very well. If you did not like My Hero from the beginning, you're not voting My Hero ever. The My Hero ending, to me, because I was bought in to My Hero since the beginning, it was a fantastic ending, to be honest with you. Now, Takapi's original sin was insane. It was so sad. It was so emotional. If you don't like sad anime, like it's probably not gonna resonate with you. I just feel like the storytelling for Takapi's original sin was so beautifully done. Like, I was on the edge of my seat every single episode. I would be lying to you guys if I said every anime here had me on the edge of my seat every single episode, right? Apothecary Diaries, another fantastic anime, and I love how like Mao Mao, when she first arrived, was obviously looked down upon. They didn't understand, or they didn't even know that having her around would be so critical because of her knowledge to be able to heal people. Like, they didn't really value it, and now it's the thing where she's like the most desired person. Really, her friendship with Jinshi and all that, like, I feel like it's a very cool thing to watch. The summer Hikaru died, I know about it, but I haven't seen it. So if there's any Hikaru fans here, my bad. After saying all of this, because we had to break it down, going back to this, I'm seeing some of you guys saying Gachiakata, some of you guys are saying My Hero, and I love My Hero, but my favorite manga is Dandadan. But anime of the year, it can't go to Dandadan. Gachiakata for me is a fantastic anime. I read a big section of the manga, but I didn't go too far ahead. There's more that I want to see, but I loved it so far, but I feel like there's more I want to see. I'm probably going to pick My Hero Academia the final season. And the reason why is there are a ton of anime that we have seen struggle to wrap up their ending. We got everything we wanted to see. We got the All for One backstory. The way that panned out was fire. We got the Bakugo character development, right? And we got everything we needed. And the main thing I was looking for, honestly, I was looking for the Todoroki family and how that was gonna wrap up, how Dabi was going to, interact with Endeavor. And we got that. So for me, I feel like My Hero Academia final season. All right, so I locked in My Hero. If you're a Gachiakata fan, still shout out to you, bro. Okay, film of the year. Here's what I'll say. I have not seen every single movie here. I've seen 4 out of the 6. So Mononoke, the movie, I have not seen. The Rose of Versailles, I have not seen. But the rest I have seen. They all have like their own unique thing that made them stand out, right? Demon Slayer, obviously, Infinity Castle, it was incredible visually, but it's Ufotable. Ufotable is always going to put up 100 points. Like, that's what they do. They're great animators. Akaza's backstory was probably like the best portion of that movie. And that was just like peak. That's peak storytelling. Akaza was one of those demons that everybody left the theater saying, I feel bad for him. I think Demon Slayer was a fantastic film, animated beautifully, but Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc, felt like it was more of like a complete film to me. The Reze arc was done beautifully from the beginning where Denji's meeting Reze and to the end when Makima packs up Reze. Like, it was beautifully done. It was more of a complete film. 100 meters with the rotoscoping. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go look at 100 meters. Hey, it's a masterclass on cinematography, but I've never seen animation like that. Again, Demon Slayer is 100% the most popular movie, but if we look at what the Reze arc did as a complete film, there's a lot of people that left the Demon Slayer movie saying like that did not feel like a movie. Chainsaw Man felt like a complete movie. Going back to 100 meters is a fantastic story, great animation all around. To me, I feel like 100 meters was definitely very slept on, but also even though I do think it's phenomenal, by the way, I got more emotion out of seeing the Akaza arc in Demon Slayer. It's seeing Denji kind of battle with Reze where he's trying to figure out, does this girl actually have feelings for me because she's trying to kill me, you know? And seeing that, like, I felt more emotion coming from their characters. But 100 meters is still a very, very dope story altogether. I just think, like, animation wise, like, that was the standout to me. Like, animation wise, it was ridiculous. And then there's Scarlet. I know if you're in this chat, there's a high chance you have not seen Scarlet, because Scarlet is so underrated, it's ridiculous. If you are a fan of Vinland Saga, you will like Scarlet. I feel like Scarlet has some elements of Thorfinn in there. So to me, I love Vinland Saga. So when I went to go see Scarlet, I was already tapped in. But I think the world, like the world building that Mamoru came up with is just, it's unbelievable. It probably was one of the toughest things to do in a film, where you have to bridge the gap between like the olden times and then the present day modern era. So there was two different time periods, and they had the underworld kind of act as this realm where somebody from the future can coexist with somebody from the past. And being able to bridge those two gaps is very hard to do and make it make sense. It was very, very hard to do. A lot of people want me to pick Demon Slayer, but when I saw Chainsaw Man Reze arc movie, I was like, oh, this felt like a complete movie, whereas Demon Slayer felt like it was a fantastic film, but it was very disjointed. I felt like I was just seeing like multiple different movies mashed together, and Chainsaw Man Reze arc felt more cohesive to me because they hyper focused on just one arc, whereas the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle was like mashing in a bunch of different like sub arcs together. It didn't grab me the way Chainsaw Man did as a complete film, but I love both of those movies together. Replay value to me, because that replay value also matters. Score matters. For me, I really think it's going to be between Chainsaw Man and Scarlet, and it's very, very close. I might go with Scarlet, and I never really had to like break it down until this very moment, but because they're two totally different films. I just think that when I compare the endings, Scarlet's ending was better than Chainsaw Man's ending. Like the Reze arc movie was ridiculously good, and that's why I feel like the Reze arc movie, it stands out even more than the Demon Slayer movie. Like it just has a fantastic ending, but Scarlet's ending was even better. 100 meters ending was all right. I'm not gonna say I was the biggest fan of the ending, but the movie was incredible. I'm gonna go with Scarlet. I just think ending wise, if Chainsaw Man had a better ending, I would go with Chainsaw Man, but it doesn't to me. I'm gonna go with Scarlet. I know it's not the popular choice, but I'm gonna go with Scarlet on this one. All right, best continuing series. It's tough because last year was Egghead. We got the Gorosei pulling up. We got the Vegapunk message going out. We got the road to Elbath. Just hypothetically, if One Piece were not here, I would tell you that I'm looking at My Hero because, you know, the final season, like I said previously, I thought the ending was beautiful. And then we also have Kaiju number 8 as well, which is peak. Solo Leveling, I feel like season 2 was fantastic. Great animation. Early on, I was on the edge of my seat too, because I remember I saw like the first couple episodes in theaters when they did like the theatrical release, and I was on the edge of my seat. I was like, yo, Sun Jin Woo's coming in here ore farming. He's beating people up, killing them, and then making them join his shadow army. So I was like, that's crazy. That's crazy flexing. I didn't sit here and say, oh, I'm gonna go back and rewatch the season. Rewatch the fights, cool. You can pull up the fights on YouTube, but I didn't feel compelled to go back and rewatch the season. Like One Piece, I went back and rewatched the Gorosei sections and all that stuff. Like when they popped out, when they transformed. My Hero, went back and watched Bakugo. Down and Out season 2, like I said, it's not at the part I wanted. And then Spy Family smooth, but it didn't captivate me on the One Piece level. So if you're a One Piece hater, you're gonna look away, close your eyes. But we know what it is. It's me. So One Piece, best continuing series without a doubt. Best new series. Now, what's interesting about the best new series that we see here is there was not a lot of people on Sakamoto Days. I'm gonna be honest. The amount of hype that Sakamoto Days had versus the popularity since its release aren't matched up, but the hype around it, I thought Sakamoto Days was going to be way bigger than what it is. I think Heiarana is a really, really good mangaka. The world building of God Shakuta is so unique. The power system is refreshing to me. The character designs are also fire, and conceptually, the show is called legit trash, and it ties in with everything. Gravitated towards me very, very much. So a lot, I should say. So for me, I feel like God Shakuta's gotta get the W. All right, but here we go. Got Yakuza for best new series. We got to do it for me. All right, best original anime. Now, here I'm cooked because I haven't seen a lot of these. I've heard of a lot of these, but I haven't seen a lot of these. I'm going to defer to you guys on this one. Whatever you guys drop most in the chat is what I'm going with. All right, Naka, you said Lazarus is perfect. Okay, all caps. Lazzy, I've seen clips and the clips of Digimon look there. Like, it looks fire. I'm not up on it like that. So, hey, everybody's saying Lazarus. So we're going to go Lazarus here. All right, not bad, not bad. Best animation. Now, to me, I think when you're looking at animation, obviously, we know people like to see the flashy fights and stuff. I also look for just like how smooth everything looks. Like when you're seeing a fight scene, can you tell what's happening, right? Can you see the choreography in there? Is there consistency? And what I mean by that is, does one episode look like Demon Slayer and then the next episode look like One Punch Man season 3? We need consistency throughout the season 2. There's only 2 that make it here for me. Consistency matters. One Piece Egghead arc had moments that were fire, and then there are other moments where it was like, what's going on? But that's just really Toei in general. Like, Toei will have a moment where they go ridiculously hard, and then they'll have a moment where there's like, nah. And I feel like Toei realized this, which is why they went on a 6-month break so that Elbath looks peak. And how has Elbath been looking? When you see what Elbath has been looking like right now, that shows us what Toei is capable of. And I can't sit here in good faith and say that Egghead was getting the best of Toei every single episode, because it wasn't. The moments where like Luffy fought Kizaru and stuff, like, of course, but it wasn't getting the best every single time. To me, I feel like animation wise, Solo Leveling season 2 and Dan season 2 are the standouts to me. Yeah, My Hero had the Bakugo moment, the flashy fights as well. It was there. My Hero was there. It's a close third for me with My Hero. But Dan season 2, Gigi? Are we serious? Because even in the manga, like the whole Gigi arc and stuff looked great. Evil Eye, you were able to see every single frame, every single movement. Like, it did not look like, you didn't look confused while watching it. So I'm going to say Dan season 2 is there. And then obviously Solo Leveling, you have the major fights. And every fight in Solo Leveling looks amazing. But I will say with Solo Leveling, there are times where things are happening where it's like, you can't really tell everything that's happening on screen. When Evil Eye was fighting, you know, Momo Okudun and everybody, like, you could see the entire choreography. It's kind of like even for Naruto, like even when Naruto characters are fighting very, very fast, you can still visually comprehend the movements. And because there's a lot of aura, they're like, oh, they're moving so fast you can't see. Sometimes you're like, Sun Jin-woo, like, is he on the wall getting blown up? Is Beru like over here? It looks cool, it looks flashy, but you can't sit here and break down the entire fight in a way where I could say Gigi used a roundhouse kick at this moment, because when you're watching the fight, you could visually comprehend it. And I feel like there's an art to that. Every single studio is being mentioned here. If a studio can make a 9 out of 10 episode one day and then a 5 out of 10 episode the next day, that does matter. And that's one thing I'll say Toei did well, I think, with Luffy's fight with Kizaru. Like, because Luffy fights in a very wacky way, you were still able to see like the punches and kicks happen, and you were still able to register it, and I thought that was great. And I feel like Dan out of all these did it the best. But then, you know, the Solo Leveling has amazing animation too. You know, the lighting effects and the coloring, I feel like Solo Leveling stands out. It's tough. To me, it's either Dan or Solo Leveling. Nothing is beating when Saint Saturn got punched by Kuma the Goat. That was an amazing moment. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when we look at Dan and Solo Leveling, like, you're getting those scenes more consistently. The consistency matters in these series. And I feel like A1 Pictures and Science Saru was giving you that, which is why Toei went seasonal for this reason. I know most people think Solo Leveling is mid, but that's always been tied to the story. All right, but here we go. Best animation for me, I'm gonna give it to Dan. To me, consistency from an animation studio matters. And the reason why we can respect a series like Demon Slayer for its animation is because every single episode looks like a movie. And that's why Demon Slayer is literally one of the biggest anime right now. Let's talk about this and let's have this uncomfortable conversation. Demon Slayer is literally one of the biggest anime of all time, popularity wise. The numbers are there, and you could talk about the story, but the story is not on the level of a One Piece. Us One Piece fans, we know this. But the reason why Demon Slayer is still getting these crazy numbers is because visually it looks incredible. right? And what Demon Slayer is doing is it's forcing other animation studios to increase the level of production, increase the quality. You don't think Toei is looking at a UFO table and saying, how are you guys pulling this off? I mean, millions and millions of people around the world are going in theaters to watch like an anime arc. Imagine if Toei started producing on this type of level, what they would be able to create. As a One Piece fan, one of my favorite One Piece movies is One Piece Stampede. Can I sit here and say every One Piece episode looks like Stampede? I can't, right? Wano had fantastic episodes, but you can easily tell when different animators come in, the quality shifts. I've never seen a poorly animated episode from Demon Slayer in my life, never. And this is me just saying I want to see more from One Piece, because as a story, One Piece has such an amazing story, and the animation is always a hit or miss. You don't know what you're gonna get from Toei. You don't know. You might get lucky and you get a 10-15, right? You get Luffy using Red Rock. You get Megumi Ishitani coming through directing the episode and it looks amazing. And then the next day, you're like, what happened? So again, this is why I feel like Toei knows this. What I'm saying, I feel like Toei knows this, which is why they decided to step back and say, let's go on a 6-month break. It's prevalent today. Like, you need to have great animation. It's a prerequisite. If you want to box with the Demon Slayers of the world, you have to have great animation. I feel like us sitting here and saying that One Piece has the best animation, and I feel like Egghead looked great. I'm gonna go down. Now, I feel like for next year, Elbaf is probably going to destroy. I don't know how because obviously Black Clover is going to be dropping this year too. There's a bunch of anime coming out this year, whether it's continuing series or whatever, that are going to be looking great animation wise. Y'all will see. If you're a One Piece fan right now, you will see how much Elbaf will clear Egghead because Toei decided to lock in. You're going to see, but I can't sit here and be like, oh, every episode of Egghead looked like Stampede. I'll be capping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go down on season 2 here. All right, here we go. Best character design. This one is a tough one for me. I feel like I wanna go Gachiakata here. I feel like Gachiakata, the cleaners, the raiders, just everything in general, like their outfits are so dope. But they're all very unique in a way where you're not watching it confused on what's going on. Yeah, Takapi's Original Sin was an incredible story. Very, very sad, but it was a story. It was an important anime, very important. And then Frieren, of course, Frieren is still very underrated though, because you know people like the flashy fights. We are back on character design here. I do think Dandadan has great character design. One Piece also has, like, let's talk about it. The Gorosei all looks menacing, right? I think Luffy's Gear 5 transformation in Egghead, it looked even better than Wano in some parts, right? Bonnie getting the Gear 5 hype was great too. Then you have Apothecary Diaries. I mean, I think for the most part, it has great character design, but it's not as unique as Gachiakata to me. Gachiakata's characters look very unique, and their designs kind of fit their personalities, you know? So for me, I would probably go Gachiakata here. Like, everybody's powers and just the way they move, like, it all fits their style. And again, like I said, Kei Arana's like world building, it's very unique. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Gachiakata here. Best character designs, Gachiakata. And then let's see, best director. I'm not too familiar with the directors, I'm not gonna lie. So how you guys feeling on this part? But I'm leaning more towards My Hero and Takapi's Original Sin. You should consider the director's ability to unify creative vision, maintain structural consistency, and elevate the source material through unique cinematic techniques. I'm not gonna lie, that might be Takapi. When you're talking about being able to convey storytelling through cinematography, like, there are scenes in Takapi where it is completely silent and it feels like a lot is happening. There are scenes in Takapi that are so powerful and there's not a lot of voice acting going on or anything, and it's just by using different pictures and camera angles paints a different type of feeling while watching it. Literally, Takapi's story was mostly told without dialogue, and that's where I'm kind of leaning towards Takapi, I'm not gonna lie. And it was a very short anime, but it was directed very well. Judging directing, I feel like there's more to it. You really have to look more at the cinematography and like how it paints a picture and conveys messaging. And I feel like Takapi's Original Sin did that more than any other series here. Like My Hero, you're feeling emotion, but it's through like the characters just talking to each other. You know what I'm saying? And the fights. But like Takapi, like the cinematography and the camera angles and the coloring is like also adding to that more than even My Hero. So I would go Takapi here. Now we have best background art. I think it has to go to Gachiakata here. We have to remember, like, Gachiakata is literally using a graffiti artist to bring in different types of styles to really help the world building of like, this is a place where they're in the pit, there's garbage everywhere. We're only talking about the background art. It's part, like the background art is part of the story itself. Like it's built in and it's tied in very, very well. I'm not saying Apothecary Diaries does not look amazing, because it does. Apothecary Diaries looks amazing, but Gachiakata's looks amazing and also ties into the world building. Like it's not just there to kind of set the scene of like the time and place the story takes place, but it's more about the vital instrument of the artwork as well. Yeah, I'm gonna go Gachiakata here. Best romance. I'm gonna need y'all help with this. I love the fact they included Dandadan here, because Dandadan is also a romance. My Dress Up Darling I know about. Blue Box I know about, haven't seen. A lot of you guys are saying Fragrant Flower. Yeah, I've never watched this, but I'm gonna add this to my list. We're gonna go Fragrant Flower there. Okay, best comedy. Out of all these, to me, my pick is Dandadan. But I think Spy Family is very, very close. And even in like one of the recent movies, like Spy Family, either way, that movie was incredible. And there's some funny moments in Spy Family season 3. I think Dandadan is funnier. Because here's the thing, like Spy Family is funny, but it's funny when Anya's there. Dandadan is legitimately funny. Like it doesn't matter if it's Momo, Okudun, Gigi, Ira, it doesn't matter who's there. Turbo Granny, Granny Seiko. Like I'm gonna go Dandadan here, respectfully. Sakamoto Days deserves to be there. Yeah, Sakamoto Days has funny moments, honestly. Like that one episode where they're at the carnival. That was a hilarious episode. But I'm going Dandadan for best comedy. Best action. Now we get to talk about the hands and the fighting strictly. The explosions, the boom boom. This one is super, super tough, man. Dandadan has the evil eye fight. Incredible. Looks visually stunning. You know, Gachiakata, the unique power systems with the vital instruments. It's good. Obviously, everybody loves Jabber. Is it best action? Can't give it best action, respectfully. Kaiju number 8 is in the running. Best action though, ooh, can't do it. When I'm looking at best action, I'm looking at the bottom 3. Sun Jinu, you get the Beru fight. I like to see the choreography in the fights and understanding, what's happening. The explosions, the boom boom, the aura, like that all ties into action. Solo Leveling delivers every single time. One Piece, action-wise. Egghead, we had the Gorosei, Rob Lucci, Luffy Gear 5, Kizaru, Bonnie, we had the Kuma Punch. There was a lot of great scenes in One Piece here. Then My Hero final season, we have the Bakugo moment. We have All for One getting max powered. Shigaraki fighting against everybody. Basically, it's Deku and every single hero that's left to help out. Yeah, One Piece, we have Joy Boys Hockey. This one is so... I gotta find a way to really narrow this down, because, yeah, the Bakugo fight was incredible action-wise. Here's the thing. I think the way they portrayed Bakugo's speed in the final season was like one of the coolest things I've seen from Bakugo in general. Like Bakugo instantly became like one of the fastest characters that we've seen in a very, very long time. And even though I love the final season of My Hero Academia, I don't think my favorite parts of My Hero Academia's final season were the fights necessarily. It was the story arcs being wrapped up in a great way, where Bakugo saw Deku in the hospital room and said, he was crying because his rival is now, has no more quirk. The whole Todoroki family all being able to meet up with Toya and have that uncomfortable conversation and Endeavor, pleading Toya to forgive him, basically. Like, those are my favorite parts of My Hero. So like, it wasn't really the fights. Solo Leveling, my favorite parts of Solo Leveling were the fights. For One Piece, my favorite parts were Kuma backstory, the Luffy Kizaru fight, and the Joy Boy Haki knot. Those are my favorite parts. So it's like, out of these three, like, I feel like One Piece and Solo Leveling are the two that have like action moments in there. Solo Leveling is there for the fights. I mean, One Piece has the moments, but where One Piece comes in is the action moments have great story behind them. You're getting Sanjinu versus Beru, and it looks visually stunning. But for One Piece coming in, One Piece is saying, hey, the Joy Boy Haki knot is now changing the trajectory of the story. Now Imu is realizing, hold on, stuff is getting more serious. I'm feeling Joy Boy's Haki is history repeating itself. The Kuma punch has story behind it. After we saw the flashback, we got to see Kuma go through all of these different things. So now when the Kuma punch scene comes in, the action now has story behind it and it hits harder. That helps the actionable moments feel much heavier. You guys are saying that visually, you know, Sanjinu versus Beru looked incredible. And it did. From an action standpoint, it did. But so did Kuma punching Saturn. From an action standpoint, that also looks incredible. But the reason why the Kuma punching Saturn is going to stand in people's minds a lot longer than Sanjinu versus Beru is because of the story behind it. You see what I'm saying? It's very, very tough. I'm gonna go One Piece, but Solo Leveling is a close second. I'm gonna go One Piece there. Best isekai anime. This is very tough. Because to me, I feel like Re:Zero immediately stands out because it's probably gonna be the most popular one here. You know, obviously people love Konosuba and stuff too. To me, I've had a chance to watch a few episodes of Disney Twisted Wonderland. That is also very cool to watch because it kind of has that Kingdom Hearts feel. But instead of having, you know, a Gryffindor house, it's now, you know, a house of Ursula, right? Ursula, being one of the Disney villains, now has her own house of magic students. And I feel like if I picked Twisted Wonderland, it would strictly be for the world building and my love for, like, you know, the Kingdom Hearts type stuff. Re:Zero as a story is more complete. Twisted Wonderland is smooth. Re:Zero is more complete, man. But I think this one's Re:Zero. It's just, it'll be disingenuous. We gotta be fair. I think this is Re:Zero. Re:Zero best isekai, best drama. Y'all, I have my pick, and it might be unpopular. Best drama to me, yeah, you guys are already saying it. This is an automatic Orb pick. The only one that can box with Orb on this is Takapi's Original Sin. Listen, Orb really had you on the edge of your seat every single episode from beginning to end. The way they're able to transfer the story to different main characters and still keep the same tension is ridiculous. Like, if you're a fan of series like, let's say, like Castlevania and stuff like that, like Orb is able to have that, but also keep it very educational as well. I mean, it's talking about speaking against the establishment or trying to spread the word on knowledge that the world looks at as, you know, sacrilegious, witchcraft, blasphemy, right? And Orb just does an incredible job. Like, I just, you know, Takapi's Original Sin, yeah, it tugs at the heartstrings. It's very depressing. It makes you sad. But Orb does it in a way where it's like, you're not only sad for these characters, but you're also angry at the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's two sides of it. Like, Takapi's Original Sin, it makes you sad, but it also makes you a little bit frustrated too, because it's like, Takapi is sitting here not fully registering that certain actions he's taking are detrimental to her growth, right? Whereas in Orb, it's like the desire for you know, speaking the truth and letting the truth be out there. I think Orb just does an incredible job. The story is just great too. I'm gonna go Orb on this, clearly. Yeah, Dr. Stone is also an incredible drama. I'm shocked it's not here, but maybe it'll be in like a later part. Let's see. All right, so best slice of life. I'm seeing people say City. Some people are saying Spy Family or Fragrant Flowers. I mean, Spy Family is, you're getting the spy aspect, but the family aspect is very slice of life. Like, it's a 2-in-1. It's like an action thriller, kind of more of just an action. And then you're also getting the slice of life family aspect, where it's like Anya's going to school, taking a test, Lloyd is being a dad, yours being a mom. But I'm seeing a lot of people saying City. I haven't seen City. We'll go with City, but I'll check it out. Because a lot of you guys are saying City, the animation. Oh, it's by Kyoto? Oh, I didn't know Kyoto did City. Okay, yeah, nah, I gotta watch City for sure. Best main character. Oh man, this is gonna be, no matter what I do here, I'm canceled. There's no answer that will please anybody here. Let's start off with Deku. A lot of people called Deku a crybaby over the years. Sometimes that was justified, but when you see Deku go through his vigilante arc and you see how he deals with the negative parts of being a hero, and he kind of had to go through the rough patch of thinking like, all right, is this something that I can figure out on my own because I don't want to involve anybody else. Let me put the pain of the world on my shoulders and try to figure this out. I thought it was very, very good for Deku's character development to realize that you can't do this alone, that people are there with you, and Class 1A coming and helping him out. Like, I thought it was just beautiful. Deku's character arc was way up here. Like, his development was incredible. Mao Mao is such a dope character too. Like, she obviously just plays her part or plays her role. I think Mao Mao is very goated in that aspect. The way she goes about helping people that kind of devalue her, you know? So Mao Mao, I feel like, is great. We have Momo and we have Okarun here. Now for me, like I said, I'm gonna say the same thing that I said earlier on for Dandadan, is that I think Momo is one of the best female protagonists. Like, really. And I mean that sincerely. If this were a manga thing, I probably would go with Momo, but this is only anime. I can't go with Momo and Okarun here. So for me, I feel like this is either Deku or Mao Mao. And this is really just, what's your flavor, you know? Like, Mao Mao's a dope character from the jump. She's one of those characters that when she's there, she has control over the situation, but she just acts like she doesn't. But Jinshi's always there to be like, nah, I know. You said Mao Mao makes the show. She does. It's also her dynamic with Jinshi though too. But whereas when you think of My Hero, it's really All Might. Deku had to actively make the decision to want to try to save Shigaraki from himself. And the way he handled that, plus him having that conversation with Bakugo as well, and still having, Bakugo is still continuing on as a hero, even though his rival is now quirkless, is great too. Let me set up the poll one time. Wow, that is very, very close. So 56% of you guys said Deku. 44% of you guys said Mao Mao. We're gonna go with Deku. I'm happy with either choice. That was very close though. We're gonna go with Deku and move on. Best supporting character. This, in my opinion, has to go to Bakugo. That, like, last season really was Bakugo's season. I don't think we can really break it down any further. I talked about Jinshi a little bit here. Gigi, he's kind of just getting started. Engine, also kind of just getting started, anime only. This has to be Bakugo. Like, you can't really, it's gonna be rough to really try to argue this one. He got the character development that I needed to see in this arc. Bakugo, best supporting character, locked in. Must protect at all cost characters. See, this is such like a weird category to me. When I see this, Suika and Anya are the two characters that come to mind immediately. Now, I guess who's doing more for their series in terms of production and pushing the plot forward? I mean, you can give Anya the W on that. What Suika means to the Kingdom of Science, I feel like, like Anya means a lot for the Spy Family's story. She's a kid, but she also causes a lot of trouble for Lloyd and Yor, considering that she has the ability to read their minds. You would think Anya being able to hear people's thoughts and stuff would be more careful, even at a young age. And Anya is like still wild. She's still a wild card. Versus Suika. Suika is literally like the MVP character. Like Suika doing, espionage, being a spy, going to enemy territory as a youngin, coming back with intel, all types of stuff. You guys are asking for the poll. All right, I guess I can poll this one too. All right, it's been a minute. I'm ending the poll right now. Oh my gosh. It's a tie between Waguri and Anya. We're gonna have to poll again. All right, we're gonna have to poll again. Waguri versus Anya. It's tied. All right. Oh my gosh. No way. It tied again. All right. We're gonna have to flip a coin. Heads, Anya. Tails, Waguri. All right, let's go. It's tails. Wow. We're going Waguri, man. I gotta see this show. Waguri for the W, man. Anya lost out. Okay. Best anime song. The one I remember the most, the Chainsaw Man So I'll probably go Iris Out. So Iris Out, Jane Doe, and then let me listen to Reawaker or Reawake R. Let me just, yeah, Reawaker's smooth too. Out of all those songs, I feel like the most popular song here is probably Iris Out, but listen to On the Way. All right, I'll listen to On the Way too. Yeah, On the Way, 100%. I love On the Way. Dang. All right, I'm gonna listen to Watch Me too. Hold on, yo, Watch Me is a banger. I thought I was gonna pick Iris Out. After listening to the songs I needed to listen to, I'm leaning more towards Watch Me and On the Way, bro. I think I'm gonna go On the Way, but Watch Me is like right there. It is, these two are very close for me. Like, this is a banger. I'm gonna go Watch Me. Dang, I can't believe that. I was not expecting to pick that. Best score, Demon Slayer's here, Chainsaw Man's here, and Apothecary Diaries. Also got Yakuta. Yeah, Apothecary Diaries, if you even listen to Apothecary Diaries OSTs, they're beautiful. They're really, really good. As a matter of fact, there's a couple videos I edited where I had like a little bit of Apothecary Diaries music in there and stuff, you know? Like I've actually done that for Apothecary Diaries. Reze Arc, I already know the song with like the pool scene and all that stuff is super popular. Demon Slayer is Demon Slayer. So you'll never leave a Demon Slayer anything without music being one of the most talked about things from it. But I don't think the drawing point of Solo Leveling was the background music. Like I can't say that, you know, because I love the music choices they went with. But Yakuta has like, I wouldn't say it's the whole score. Like they have like one or two songs that are just fire that like everybody goes to. Like if you're a Yakuta cosplayer and all that stuff, you already know the song I'm talking about. I don't know the name of it. It has like that DC influence in the drums and everything. Like Yakuta, them pulling from the culture, like that was fire. But we already know it's like that's the song that sticks out immediately. But it's not the entire score, you know what I'm saying? Whereas like Apothecary Diaries, the entire score is beautiful. Like I said, Yakuta I feel like has like fire songs, but in the background, but it's not one episode and the next episode it's like, all right, whatever. I've had Apothecary Diaries music playing in the background when I'm like editing and stuff. Like I've genuinely done that. I can't say I've done that for other series. So I'm personally gonna go with Apothecary Diaries, but if you guys think it's something else, by all means, you could definitely vote. Okay, best opening sequence. I mean, this is kind of what we just talked about earlier. Most of you guys are saying Mirage, and I've heard that one before. I'll probably go Mirage. Hugs is also very, very good too. Let's go Mirage here. Best ending sequence. But Fire Force got really, really top heavy at the end of, you know, at the end of its run. So right now I'm seeing it's either I or Beautiful Colors. When it says ending sequence, like you're factoring in the music but also the visuals as well, which is why I think I would probably lean more towards I. So yeah, to me, because I remember the Solo Leveling ending now, I think visually the Solo Leveling ending visually, like it looks the best. Now, Beautiful Colors, especially if you like One Republic, you could like the song more. Just having an opportunity to revisit like the visuals, they weren't there. My Heroes is pretty much there, but My Heroes is good too. But I think Solo Leveling visually, because I remember it now. Once I watch it, yeah, I think I'll probably go Solo Leveling here. Like the song is not bad. The song is decent, but the visuals like help it a lot more, you know? You standing on Beautiful Colors. I feel you. I just feel like visually Beautiful Colors is just, it's literally like it's most of it is like a slideshow, you know? It's not really. I'll go Solo Leveling here. All right, best voice artist performance. Y'all know me. My goal is here. Whatever y'all say, y'all could say is biased. Y'all could say One Piece sucks. Y'all could say whatever you have to say. You cannot deny the fact that Mayumi Tanaka is one of the greatest voice actors. She is incredible, man. Like, and the range to go from a serious Luffy to a goofy Gear 5 Luffy. Luffy's voice is iconic, and she does such a good job, man. I gotta go Mayumi Tanaka. Like, I can't. Come on. So we're going Mayumi Tanaka. That's me. And then best voice artist English. I typically watch more sub than I do dub. Now, I do know some great, dub performances. If I had to pick one, I mean, the one I know the most is probably Alexis from, the Chainsaw Man movie. But again, I haven't seen a lot of these. Oh, Lucian does Akaza in Demon Slayer. I haven't seen it in English. Mao English is really good. Yeah, I wish I haven't seen it, so I can't really speak on it. I would probably go with the continuation of the story. So for me, I'd probably go Alexis here. I've seen the Chainsaw Man movie in English as well. So, and it's good. So we're gonna go Alexis here, and I think that ends it. I think. Yeah, I think that's the last one. Okay. Yeah, that was the last one, y'all. But all right. I'm gonna see y'all soon.